Hey, Ben here, and today I'm going to show you how you can scrape thousands of leads from Google Maps within minutes. I'm going to show you step by step, setting it up in make.com as well as NA10. So whether you're looking for specific prospects or in specific niches or local businesses, this is how you do it. So let's dive in. So there's actually quite a few ways you can do this, and I haven't actually decided which way to show you, but I've just come onto Apify, which if you haven't heard of before, is basically a marketplace for web scrapers. And I've just come across this one right at the front. It shows you can literally get the emails straight from Google Maps. Now, there could be an issue with this just because it might just scrape sort of info at, sales at, which you don't really want to be contacting. You want to be contacting specific people, decision makers, CEO, founders, managers, etc., etc. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of email address this gets you. And normally Apify does show you an output example. So if we have a look at the type of email that it gets us. Yeah, development sites at, I don't think that's good enough. I think we're best off using a third-party email finder like any mail finder, just incorporating that into the flow. It would be a lot easier. Let's have a look at this one, see if this has, contact at. I don't think that's good enough. So to be honest, we're actually not going to use that. But if we go to the store, there'll be hundreds of these, literally 100. We're just going to extract. This seems like a good one. We're just going to extract and scrape a search term that we put in. So the other way you could do it, and I've spoken about I've spoken about this platform before. It's called Any Mail Finder. Is it? No, it's called Phantom Buster. And they've got loads of stuff in here. It is really good. You can actually put workflows together of a load of different scrapes. For example, you can automatically connect with people on LinkedIn. You can then send a follow-up message. It's literally here, connect and send follow-up. You can just give it a search and it will connect with those people. So it's good, really good for LinkedIn automations. But you can also give it a spreadsheet of Google Maps URLs and it will just continuously scrape those. And you can actually do it for free. You could set up a free account like I've got, as you can see here. Set up a free account and I'll show you a couple ways now of being able to do it for free. So I'll just have to come in a private browser because otherwise everyone will know where I live. But this is the little island that I live on. Let's say, for example, you wanted to scrape, such a cliche example that people use, but roofing. Just type in roofing in London. Let's see what comes up. So you can see there's a load of roofing specialists, roofing expert, London roofing, high range roofing, etc., etc. And let's say you wanted to scrape that. So what you'd do, you could get the URL, use this Phantom, and you can just put the search in there. You see here, alternatively, you could do a Google Sheet. And as I've showed you before with LinkedIn Sales Navigator searches, you could just put search after search, line after line of Google Maps searches, and it will search through each one. But since I'm just for the example here, I'll just use one. English. Google Maps only displays 120 results, so you'll only be able to scrape up to 120. That's why if you wanted to do more than that, you're best off putting in a spreadsheet, the URLs of each search going down, and then just make the Google Sheet actual shareable link that you can just stick into the Phantom. Press save, and that's ready to run. So what you do here, if you wanted it to be autonomous, you could either press launch, or you could go into advanced settings, webhooks, webhook, custom webhook, add YouTube, Google Maps, example, save, copy the address, back into Phantom Buster, put it into the custom webhook URL there and press save settings. Now, after this runs, all the data will get sent to here. It is listening, but we can't actually just send a bit of data quickly. So if I just put the behavior as 1, save and close, launch, this will just scrape the top 1 and we'll see the data come into here, or at least it will accept the data, and then we're not going to have to run it again for it to actually show the data. Alternatively, I'll show you once this is done a free way to actually get the spreadsheet of results. Thing with a free account of Phantom Buster, you can't export more than 10 results. So a quick thing for you to do is to go inspect, network, refresh. I think this is how you do it. I can't quite remember. And then you want to look for the CSV. Suppose you can maybe type it in. Oh no, it's there. Look, results CSV. Copy that, and you just paste it into here, press enter, and then it would download for you to have. You can see from it running, it's successfully determined. So we'll just run it again. But there's a little trick for you anyway, if you wanted to do, if you didn't want to do it this way. But if you are going to get the results via an API, you can actually get it for free anyway. For some reason, when you're on here, you can only download 10 results. But if you're doing it via an API on a free account, you can get as many as you want, which is pretty strange, but it is what it is. So let's just launch this again now that this is running. Cool. So you can see it's done the next one. You'll go into here and it will show it. We've got a object of the result, which obviously isn't very readable, but you get things like his phone number, which is obviously a personal phone number, his ratings, how many reviews he's got, the address. Apparently they're open 24 hours, which is absolutely mental to me. But yeah, essentially what we're going to do from there is parse it so it makes a bit of sense. And we would just put that in, but for now, just to show you, I am just going to copy it. Run the module, and you'll see it comes out as a bundle, a lot nicer. They're LGBTQ plus friendly, which is like really good. I obviously wouldn't go with them if they weren't that. You get their website, which we're going to need to actually find the email. You get address, yeah. Their opening days. Anyway, from there, we're then going to go and get any mail finder. You get a certain amount already integrated with make.com, so you don't have to mess around with HTTP calls, etc., which is another reason it makes make.com so easy. We can either search for a person's email. If you give the full name and a domain or company name, at the moment we don't have his full name, so we can't do that one. We can do the company's emails, a decision maker's emails, or search for a LinkedIn profile email. So you give it the LinkedIn profile and search for the email there. But we can just do it if we can search via a company name, since we have the company name, don't we? No, but we do have the website, so we'll use that instead. Search by domain, put in the website. We just want the owner. Let's just get all as well, and we can put them through an email verifier later. And I'll show you a quick tip with that as well to get that pretty much free. Well, I think it's a tip anyway. Cool. And then I personally use, if I show you now. Yeah, good, cheers. I use Instantly's because if you think about it, they send so many out a day. They know they can keep it really up to date about whose is actually verified and whose isn't. And I've bought 25,000 credits, used at least 50,000 credits, and it's not going down. So if anyone from Instantly is watching this, please don't patch it. But essentially, I've just been doing it via an API call. It seems if you do things via an API call these days, you just get it for free anyway. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I have used this plenty of times, and I'll even show you right now. Let's do a HTTP make request. It's going to be a post. Let's go on the Instantly docs. API Explorer, email verification, create an email verification, and it tells you exactly what to do here. So we'll post this HTTP request into there. That's the URL. We're then going to need a header with authorization, bearer, and then the API key. So add header, authorization, bearer, and then I'll stick my API key in there. It says header as content type application JSON. A lot of people do put this in there, but you don't need to because you can just put it here as content type application JSON. That's still a request header. So I don't know why a lot of people on YouTube I see still putting it in here. You don't need to do that. And then if I remember seeing that correctly, this is how it wanted it. Yeah, email Bosch. So I'll go into here, and in here we'll put the email from there, and we'll only carry on if the email verified is equal to true. I actually don't know how that looks. It might be valid, verified. I don't know how it looks, so we'll do that afterwards. Okay, so I just need to create an API key, do I? Integrations, API keys. Oh, look at that. Hopefully no one's used that yet. Create an API, YouTube, example, delete. All, it's just easiest. Create. And there's my API key. I will definitely delete this, so don't even bother. But you want to do bearer, space, and then paste the API key in there. Pass the response yes. Rename. Verify email. Make sure you're keeping your list nice and clean. Cool. So at the moment, we're getting some data. We're passing it. We're then finding the email, verifying the email, and next thing we want to do if the email is verified is research the prospect so we can create a personalized email. So to do that, we're going to use Perplexity. And then we're going to use Anthropic. Okay, so can I be asked to create a whole prompt? No. Am I gonna? Yes, because I love you. Let's just run through it first, just so I get the data. So it's listening. Just make sure this is working nicely. There we go. Has it found the email? Success is true. So it hasn't been able to verify it, but Andrew Robertson. Let's see if this has come back verified. It's pending. Okay. So that is an annoying thing with Instantly, which is where You then have to send it to another scenario. You know, and then probably sleep for like 30 seconds just to check if the email is verified or not. But what I'm going to do is put it through again manually and see what happens. See if it's verified yet. But just to show you that that didn't use a credit. It just doesn't use the credits, and I really don't know why, but I'll take it. Still pending. So yeah, this is where you just make another one. It would be a HTTP, make a request, post. You'd create another webhook in another scenario. You'd copy the address, you'd put it in there. You'd do raw JSON application JSON, and you just pass through everything that you need from here already. So it would probably be it would definitely be the email, and then you'd pass through the full name, the job title, their LinkedIn URL, and maybe their domain. Maybe we need that later on. I don't know. Anything you need later on, you just pass through to another webhook, and it would wait for maybe 30 seconds, verify the email again. If it's verified, it would carry on and do the flow that we're about to create in this scenario, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll probably just create it for you. It shouldn't take me too long. It's just a copy and paste after you've finished anyway. Okay, and then, right, one thing we're going to have to do actually before is just make sure that the website exists, so we're not wasting whatever you call them, operations. Same within here. I still don't know what it comes out as, do we? But anyway, it should just be if email exists. Yeah. And then it would be if verification status is verified. Verified. It would carry on to Perplexity. Now in here, we'd literally just put, so let's say Ben Yule, founder, space, of, and we don't actually get company name, which isn't ideal. Are we sure we don't get company name? I think we do get company name, if I remember correctly. Oh, it doesn't show where's the history? There we go. No, we don't get company name for some reason. He's the owner of Golden Roofing, but for some reason it doesn't give us the company name. So what we could just do is put in the domain, and Perplexity can just search that instead. I wonder why it doesn't give us, what other ones give us the company name? We'll just put in the domain. I wonder what it comes out as. That'd be interesting. And then the fun part, we're going to have to create a whole prompt to either, this is up to you now, you can either just create a one-line icebreaker, or you can have AI create a whole hyper-personalized email, which I do enjoy. So you do a user message, text, and you just tell it what it is it's going to be doing. So in this instance, it's going to be taking the data from Perplexity, which is everything we give it. Let's just see what it comes out as. If I was to launch this and then run this, problem is if I've only done one, then it might not pass through all the filters and go to Perplexity, which is probably what's likely going to happen. Okay, email found, nice. but it wasn't verified. It was invalid. So it's the same person anyway. A. Robertson, invalid. But let's just do this. Andrew Robertson. I swear he's playing for Liverpool tonight against PSG. And he's the owner. See if Perplexity can come out with some valid information. Choices, message, content. The query seems to be about Andrew Robertson, the owner of a company named Golden Roofing, but the provided URL is not directly linked to any of the search results. However, there are two different mentions of Golden Roofing and an Andrew Robertson in Monroe, Louisiana. So this would not work. And Golden Roofing of Tennessee. Okay, actually what we are going to do instead is still do the decision makers. But what I've realized is obviously I can go into here and there's the company name. So be interested to see how much better that performs if it does. Right, so it needs to be full name, who is the owner of company. Okay, what I'm going to do is have this return 5 results, launch, and let's see what we get. Cool, so you can see this working. The only issue we're coming into is that for the first one, that emails are coming back pending. But essentially I've just done a scrape of 5. So there's 5 different bundles here. An email finder searching for the decision maker's email, then we're verifying it, then we're going to add it to instantly. Then we're going to, research and add to instantly. Another issue is you can obviously see how long this is taking. So we're actually going to change it up and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. But instead of doing search for a decision maker's email, we're going to make an API call and create another scenario which has a webhook to then verify the email. If pending, it will send to another one. So it could actually end up being 3 scenarios, which is a lot of work and not much time to do it in. But I'll see how quickly I can do it and we'll crack on from there. But you can see all 5 have done, only 2 got emails. So this one we couldn't find the email, couldn't find an email, couldn't find an email, but the first 2 we did. However, the first one was pending. So I'll just copy that again now, run the module, stick it in and see if it's come back. Invalid. Okay, so actually none of them are valid. And just to go to show you this again because it's funny, still 25,000 credits, which is great. And then anyway, in here we'll put the full name, job title. We'll then create a prompt. I don't know, 300. We'll create a prompt to either create a 1-line icebreaker, or you can ask it to create a whole email. So that would be the icebreaker, your value hook, your social proof, your call to action, and then probably a postscript at the end. And then you could also do a follow-up message, email, stuff like that. Carry on. And the way you'd do that is you'd give it the prompt and then you'd give it a user, so everything that it will be getting, and then an assistant. And then the assistant, you'd go like this: icebreaker, you'd do value hook, and you just give it examples of how you want it. So it'd be like, hey, John, /n/n, and if you didn't know, that just means new line in JSON code. Love your work with fixing granny's roofs. Is it roofs or roofs? No, it's not. Love your work fixing granny's roofs. Granny's roofs. I don't know if that's right or not. Ballyhook. I can get you more clients with a few automation tweaks. Then you do social proof. I recently helped a roofer get more clients by helping him save more granny's cats. Your CTA want to know more? Question mark. And then you could do a PS. PS, let me know if this isn't of interest and I won't follow up. It's a good one to put in your cold emails because people then respond, which helps your deliverability. And then next you can do follow up. And then you'd be like, hey, John, /n, just circling back. Never use this, ever. This circling back term, I hate it. Or you can use it, it's up to you. Just circling back. We help roofing companies achieve X in Y time. We recently helped Steve put more tiles on more roofs. Anyway, you get the gist, and you do it like that. So you do a user, you'd give it everything that the AI would get, that Anthropic or Claude would get, and then you do an assistant, you'd give it the exact cold email template that you'd probably give it. And what this does, this changes the email every single time. It uses the same structure, so it would be an icebreaker, a value hook, a social proof, a CTA, but it would change and be hyper-personalized because what you'd do at the end is give it a user message, and you'd say, here's the dynamic info of the leads, and you'd go the full name, the job title, the company name, and then you'd also give it the research from Perplexity. And after that, pretty easily, actually, because Anthropic, it doesn't have an option like OpenAI does doesn't have an option to output in JSON, which is a shame. So you'd have to just do another parse JSON, you'd pass the text response, and from there it would give you a load of it would give you it would do it like this. It would have icebreaker, value hook, social proof, and you'd just have to put it in here. The personalization you'd put as icebreaker, custom variables you'd go value hook and put the value hook in. You'd do social proof and put the social proof in, and you get the gist. And there's a flow to scrape. You'd have to manually input URLs into Phantom Buster, and then you'd run it, and then it would get the data, parse it, find the email, verify the email, run them through Perplexity, do an AI search engine, put all this data into Claude to create a email, and then you'd add it into Instantly Ready to send out. Now, I did say I was going to show you how to you twat, cancel. save. If it was pending, what would you do then? So I'll show you right now. You'd then create a webhook. You'd do whatever. So yeah, save it. You'd copy the address, go back into here, do that, post, raw, content type, application JSON, pass response yes, and then everything that is needed. So for example, email. And you'd put in here email. You'd then do what else is needed later on for this, the job title and title. So you'd look at exactly what is needed later on and literally just send all this to the webhook, because you're going to need it later on in the other scenario, if it then gets verified, to carry on the flow. And I hope this is all making sense, but let's just leave it at that for now. So I'm shaking the table. I don't know if this is shaking as well. And you'd put if verification status is equal to pending. It would go down here. That should then get the data, which it has. Go down there and you'd literally just then copy this, paste it in there. Get rid of that. It would then verify the email with whatever has come through from the webhook. So we'll just run it. I think I'm rushing a bit too much. I apologize for that. Run it, send some data again. Press OK. It's got all the data there. You could see the email, the job title, and the company name. They're all called hello. In the email, you'd put email, and then you'd actually do a sleep module. Sleep for, let's just say 60 seconds, gives it enough time, doesn't it? Gives it a minute. And then it would verify if verification status is, if this comes back verified, then we'll carry on, which it does. And then you just add in everything, map it all in from this flow instead of the old one, change it, and that's pretty much it. So that's my scraper I've just built from scratch, from getting a scrape with doing the scrape yourself, the search yourself on Google Maps, putting the URL into Phantom Buster on a free account, setting up a webhook so all the data is sent to the webhook, and then through the flow it's the emails found, the emails verified, they're researched with AI, a whole email is drafted, and then it's sent to instantly to be sent out whenever you want. So yeah, that's how I do it with that situation. Let's now set one up on NA10 just for diverse reasons. Cool. So scenario 2, we're going to be using the Apify way. I haven't even thought of it yet. Let me just think of how we're going to do it. So it's going to be, we'll just trigger it manually. Now let's think how we're going to do this. So we are going to give Apify who, what, and where we want to scrape. It will then do the scrape. Tell you what we could do, yeah. You'd go onto Apify. You'd say you want to search, that was a good one actually, restaurants. So you can then go and sell them a AI voice caller or something like that. We will sod it. We'll keep that the same. We're going to look in New York, USA. We can do as many as we want, can we? Yeah, I don't know if there's that many restaurants in New York. I only went to about 10. And then you can go down and check all the details that you want to scrape. So I don't really want any of them. Do you want reviews? Yeah, let's just get... Do we want reviews? Why do we want... We don't really want them. Questions? No. Define the search area? No. Search filters? No. Well, you could, if you wanted to do certain star rating, you could do maybe 4 stars and above. Someone who's going to be a higher value lead, higher intent, higher value, I think is the one, yeah. Google Maps URL instead of, so you can actually add in searches that you do yourself with a Google Maps URL. And that's fine. And then run options, whatever. And then you press save and start. And then all the data from there will need to be sent to our N8N. We'll create a webhook instead of a manual trigger. So you want to go into here, integrations. Let's do a HTTP webhook. Start when run has succeeded. Let's create a test URL, post, copy that, paste it in there. I think leave everything the same. Listen for test event. Back into Apify, save and test. So we're just testing that webhook, making sure it's getting the data, and there it is. So our test webhook is working. So far we're going to go onto the Google Maps scraper. We're going to put in the search terms that we want, and we're just going to press save and start. And all the data is going to get sent to this webhook, which we're then going to want to, I suppose, find the emails again. So it's just exactly then, after this, the exact same one as we've done here. Once we've then got the data from Google Maps, from Apify, if you don't want to keep setting up Phantom Buster results, we'll then set up a HTTP request to search for a decision maker's email. We'll verify the email, and it's just going to be the exact same, but in N8N. So let's give it a go. So first of all, we're going to need an email finder's API docs. API, read the API documentation. What do we want? The decision maker's email. So it's a post request to here. So you press plus, HTTP, post. Here's the URL. 2 credits charged when a fully verified email is found, and it's free if no email is found, which is pretty good about any mail finder. It will only charge you for fully verified emails. Now, yeah, it's going to charge me 2 credits, but I'm absolutely rolling in credits, so it doesn't really matter for me. For you, I've shown you a way. I'm not going to do it again right now, but if there's a video, I'll put it in the link to the description. I think it's just a free AI automated outreach video, and it literally shows you how you can get any mail finder for free and stuff like that. I think if you keep setting up accounts, you get 250 API calls for free. That's 250 verified emails essentially. Authentication, you want to do the authorization header. So you press send headers, authorization, bearer, and then the API key. I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to see my API key. And then you just put the domain and the decision maker category, like So you press send body, JSON, using JSON, like so. And what you do is, once you've tested with the actual production URL, you'd be able to just drag it in like so. That will stay the same, but you'll just need to stick in the website that you get from the webhook once you have tested it with the production URL. Cool. So that's how you're going to then find the emails. After that, so it would be nice if I could just use my automation to, particularly this one would be really good. Any HTTP requests. A lot of these are obviously native to make.com, but if you haven't seen my video where I basically take a blueprint from make.com and I transfer it, put it through the automation, and it makes it into an NA10 workflow. But really the only one that works are when they're a HTTP request. When they're native to make.com, it doesn't work as well, but it still sort of shows you the flow, which is really really helpful. So again, we'll do a HTTP request, create email verification as we did before. And we'll go post, authorization bearer again. So you go here, send headers, authorization, bearer, and then your API key, which I did make earlier, so you can all copy. Header content type, which you do need to do, I believe, within NA10. So you'd go, where is it? Is it like this? Oh, I can't remember how it is. Content/type, JSON, application JSON. Is that what it's like? No, just application JSON. Like that. And then you'd send a JSON using JSON. It is email. And then you, again, from the previous node, I can't test it because I'm not putting my API key in, but you drag and drop. You can press execute previous node once you've got your API key, drag and drop the email in there and finish it off with a curly bracket. So now, so we're going to get the email, verify the email, and it's literally just a load more HTTP requests of Perplexity, Claude, JSON, and add to instantly through NA10. You'd do after this a if condition. Again, you'd need the previous node to be executed and you just drag it in. So if verification is equal to verified, it would then be a HTTP, which you'd go to Perplexity. And I don't think I'm going to create the rest of the automation because you guys know now I've done it in the last one. All it would be me doing now would be going on the API docs, finding the URL, pasting it back in, not showing my API key. But yeah, I hope that helped. I will end up creating this in NA10, and I'll put both blueprints and workflows into my school community, which if you've got this far, which I'm sure most of you haven't, but if you have, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. School community is getting, well, it's planned to be, what's the word? Live, I suppose, on Friday. Friday it's going to go live. I'm just getting the starter courses together, getting everything in there, making sure everything's perfect, understanding what it is I exactly want to be doing. Essentially, it's just going to be helping you guys get your first automation client and then scaling from there on. And I've got so many great ideas, which is going to make this stand out from everyone else. All my blueprints are going to be in there. Like every single one I've ever created are going to be in there. And I think I'm going to talk more on this at a later point, but you know, the main thing, like you can build all the automations, you can watch me do this, you can get all the blueprints you want. That's the easy part. The hardest part is getting the customer, getting on a call with them and selling them and understanding how you're then going to deliver the service, etc., with the app, make.com, whether it's NA10, whatever it is. I'm going to make sure I'm going to walk you through it. I'm only going to open it up to 10 people to start with, and I'm going to work extremely closely with these 10 people. So if you've got it this far, if you're one of my subscribers and you've got it this far and you're one of the 10 people, make sure you're watching out for it on Friday. I'll drop a link somewhere on my YouTube or something like that at a certain time. And first come, first serve, the first 10 people who get in, I'm going to work with you extremely closely. We're going to get you the first automation client and we're going to get you on the path to success. Anyway, this was never my plan to mention this in this video, but I just thought if you've got this far, you're an absolute legend. So I'm going to mention it anyway, because you're the ones that are going to reap the rewards. But I hope this helped. It's pretty cool automation. Just shows how you can do it in both platforms as well. I'm going to delve deeper into NA10 as well, because a lot of people are wanting me to do it. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So yeah, hope you found this useful. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you could see my sort of thought process, because I hadn't even planned this out at all. I just thought of something off the top of my head and went with it. So it was good for you anyway to see my thought process. So if you liked it, then drop it a like. Let's get me to the top of the algorithm. It's wishful thinking. Drop me a comment, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.